The Galactic Council, an interstellar governing body comprising representatives from hundreds of civilizations, convened in the Grand Chamber of Xylor Prime. The room was a marvel of alien architecture, with floating platforms and hovering screens displaying data from across the galaxy. The air buzzed with the hum of advanced technology and the quiet murmurs of conversation among the delegates. This day, an unusual presence graced the assembly. Ambassador James Carter from Earth. Humanity had only recently achieved space travel, making their sudden involvement with the Council a point of curiosity and skepticism. Dressed in a crisp suit that contrasted with the flowing robes and exotic attire of other representatives, James cut a striking figure as he made his way to the podium. As he stepped up, the room fell into a hushed silence. Whispers circulated among the delegates, many of whom viewed human technology as primitive and their inclusion in the Council as more of a diplomatic gesture than a recognition of any significant capabilities. "Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed delegates," James began, his voice steady and confident, "I stand before you today with a discovery that will alter our understanding of interstellar warfare and diplomacy." He activated a holographic display, and a series of images and data streams appeared, hovering in the air above him. The display showed a fleet of alien ships, shimmering into view as they deactivated their cloaking devices. The clarity of the images was unmistakable, leaving no doubt about the authenticity of the footage. Gasps and murmurs filled the chamber. Invisible ships were a well-guarded secret, utilized by only the most advanced species for stealth operations. The shock was palpable as the delegates processed what they were seeing. "These images were captured by human technology," James explained. "We have developed a method to detect cloaked vessels. Our sensors can see what has been hidden from view, revealing the true nature of threats lurking in the void." The Council was stunned. How had humans, newcomers to the galactic stage, achieved such a breakthrough? As questions bombarded James, he maintained his composure, prepared for the scrutiny and the implications of their discovery.
The immediate aftermath of James's presentation was a whirlwind of activity. Delegates from various civilizations gathered in small groups, their voices rising in animated discussion. The once orderly chamber now buzzed with a mixture of excitement, fear, and skepticism. At the center of this storm, James remained calm, fielding questions from the most influential members of the Council. High Chancellor Zorath of the Vendarian Collective, a towering figure with a reputation for being both wise and unyielding, was among the first to speak. "Ambassador Carter, this technology you speak of, how does it work?" Zorath's deep, resonant voice echoed through the chamber. James nodded, anticipating the question. "Our scientists discovered a way to detect fluctuations in the quantum field that cloaking devices emit. These fluctuations, though incredibly subtle, can be picked up by our enhanced sensors and converted into visual data. The result is what you see before you." Admiral Thalcon of the Zarakian fleet, known for his tactical genius and fierce loyalty to his people, was particularly vocal in his skepticism. "If humans can see our invisible ships, it undermines our entire defense strategy. We must either neutralize this technology or find a way to counter it." The room fell silent as Thalcon's words hung in the air. The threat was implicit. If humanity's technology spread unchecked, it could destabilize the delicate balance of power that the Council had worked so hard to maintain. Meanwhile, James convened with his team, including Dr. Sarah Whitfield, the brilliant scientist behind the sensor technology. Sarah's research had initially been a side project, born from her curiosity about cloaking mechanics. Little did she know it would catapult humanity into the galactic spotlight. As the delegates debated the implications of this new technology, Sarah found herself approached by representatives from several interested parties. The Resh, a species known for their clandestine operations and expertise in espionage, were particularly keen to learn more. A Resh diplomat, her eyes glinting with curiosity, cornered Sarah in one of the quieter corridors of the Council's headquarters. "Dr. Whitfield, your discovery is remarkable, but be wary. Not all see this as a step forward." The diplomat handed Sarah a data chip before disappearing back into the shadows. Sarah, perplexed and wary, hurried back to her quarters to examine the contents. The chip contained encrypted information on other cloaking technologies, some even more advanced than what they had detected. As Sarah pored over the data, the enormity of their discovery and its potential consequences began to sink in. She realized this was either a warning or an opportunity. She had to decide whether to share this with James and the Council or keep it under wraps until she fully understood its implications. The revelation of humanity's new technology had shaken the Galactic Council to its core. As tensions rose and alliances began to form, it was clear that the galaxy would never be the same again. In the days following James's presentation, the Galactic Council's Grand Chamber became a battleground of words and ideologies. The once harmonious assembly now echoed with heated debates and rising tensions. Delegates from various civilizations argued fervently, each with their own perspective on humanity's newfound ability. Admiral Thalcon of the Zyrekian fleet, his reptilian features set in a perpetual scowl, was among the most vocal critics. He stood in the center of a group of delegates, his imposing presence dominating the conversation. If humans can see our invisible ships, it undermines our entire defense strategy. We must either neutralize this technology or control it. Thalcon's words struck a chord with many, especially those from species heavily reliant on cloaking technology. Whispers of conspiracy and sabotage filled the air, fueling the growing paranoia. On the opposite side of the chamber, High Chancellor Zorath of the Vendarian Collective tried to mediate. While the implications are indeed serious, we must approach this with a sense of unity. Humanity's discovery could benefit us all if we find a way to integrate it into our existing systems. James and his team, including Dr. Sarah Whitfield, observed the chaos with a mixture of concern and determination. They had anticipated resistance but were unprepared for the sheer scale of the backlash. James knew they had to navigate these turbulent waters carefully to secure humanity's place in the galaxy. Amid the turmoil, Sarah found herself approached by various factions seeking to either support or undermine humanity's position. One evening, as she reviewed the data chip given to her by the mysterious Vresh diplomat, she was startled by a soft chime at her door. Opening it, she found herself face-to-face with Tarek, a delegate from the Elloran Consortium, a species known for their technological prowess and diplomatic finesse. Tarek's tall, slender frame and calm demeanor were a stark contrast to the aggression she had faced from others. "Dr. Whitfield, may I have a word?" Tarek asked politely. Sarah nodded, stepping aside to let him in. "Of course, Delegate Tarek. What can I do for you?" Tarek took a seat, his eyes scanning the room before settling on her. "I understand the gravity of your discovery. The Elloran Consortium wishes to extend a hand of friendship and cooperation. We believe that by working together, we can ensure this technology is used for the greater good." Sarah listened intently, weighing his words carefully. The Ellorans had a reputation for being shrewd but honorable negotiators. An alliance with them could bolster humanity's position within the Council. "I appreciate your offer, Delegate Tarek, but we must proceed with caution. Not everyone shares your vision of cooperation," Sarah replied. Tarek nodded, his expression thoughtful. "Indeed. But know that the Ellorans stand ready to support you in these uncertain times." As Tarek left, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that their discovery had set off a chain of events that were spiraling beyond their control. She needed to understand the full extent of the data on the chip and decide the best course of action.
As the Council's deliberations continued, Sarah secluded herself in her quarters, analyzing the data chip's contents. The encrypted files contained intricate schematics of cloaking devices far more advanced than anything she had ever encountered. It was a treasure trove of knowledge, but also a Pandora's box of potential dangers. One night, as she worked late into the evening, a soft knock on her door broke her concentration. She hesitated, then opened it to find the mysterious Vresh diplomat standing in the shadows once again. "Dr. Whitfield, I trust you have found the data enlightening," the diplomat said, their voice a whisper that seemed to blend with the darkness. Sarah stepped back, allowing the diplomat to enter. "What is your interest in all this? Why give me this information?" The diplomat's eyes glinted with a mix of curiosity and caution. "The Vresh value knowledge and balance. The data chip contains information on cloaking technologies used by various factions, some of whom have less than honorable intentions. Consider it a gesture of goodwill and a warning." Sarah's mind raced. If the data was accurate, it could mean that some members of the Council had been using cloaking technology for covert operations against their rivals. The implications were staggering. "Why warn us? What do you gain from this?" Sarah asked, her suspicion evident. The diplomat smiled, a faint, almost imperceptible curve of the lips. "The Vresh have no desire for open conflict. A destabilized council benefits no one. By ensuring that humanity is prepared, we maintain the balance of power. As the diplomat left, Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. She was now privy to secrets that could change the fate of the galaxy. She had to decide whether to share this information with James and the Council or keep it hidden until she could verify its authenticity. Meanwhile, James continued to navigate the political landscape. He attended countless meetings, forging alliances and fending off accusations. The Council was a web of intrigue, and every step had to be carefully calculated. During a particularly contentious session, Admiral Falcon once again took the floor, his eyes fixed on James. Human technology poses a significant risk. We cannot afford to let it spread unchecked. I propose a resolution to restrict the dissemination of this sensor technology. James stood, his expression calm but resolute. Admiral Falcon, humanity has no intention of destabilizing the galaxy. Our goal is to enhance security for all civilizations. Restricting our technology would only serve to limit our collective defense capabilities. The debate raged on, with delegates taking sides. Some supported Falcon's resolution, fearing the unknown capabilities of human technology. Others, like Zorath and Tarek, argued for cooperation and integration. As the session adjourned, James met with Sarah in a quiet alcove of the Council's headquarters. She shared her findings and the diplomat's warning, her voice barely above a whisper. James, we need to be careful. This data suggests that some members of the Council might be using advanced cloaking technologies for covert operations. If true, it could explain the resistance we're facing. James nodded, his expression grim. We need to verify this information and decide how to proceed. If we expose this too soon, it could lead to chaos. But if we wait too long, we risk losing our advantage. Together, they formulated a plan. Sarah would continue to analyze the data, seeking any patterns or clues that could corroborate the diplomat's warning. James would work to solidify their alliances and gather support within the Council. The stakes were higher than ever, and the path ahead was fraught with danger. But James and Sarah knew they had to act decisively to protect humanity and ensure the balance of power within the galaxy.
As Sarah delved deeper into the data, James received a communication from an unexpected source: the Vresh. The Vresh, a species renowned for their clandestine operations and expertise in espionage, had remained relatively silent since humanity's revelation about their sensor technology. Now, they were reaching out with a proposition. James met with the Vresh envoy in a secure room within the Council's headquarters. The envoy, a slender figure with reflective eyes and an air of quiet confidence, introduced herself as Lyris. Ambassador Carter, Lyris began, her voice smooth and measured. The Vresh have observed humanity's rapid technological advancements with great interest. We believe that your sensors and our stealth tactics could create a formidable alliance. James raised an eyebrow, intrigued but cautious. And what exactly are you proposing, Envoy Lyris? Lyris leaned forward, her reflective eyes glinting in the dim light. We propose a mutually beneficial partnership. With your sensor technology and our expertise in cloaking and covert operations, we can maintain balance and order in the galaxy. Together, we could prevent any one faction from gaining too much power. James considered her words carefully. An alliance with the Vresh could bolster humanity's standing within the Council and provide them with valuable allies. However, the Vresh were known for their secrecy and unpredictability. I'll need to discuss this with my team, James replied, but know that we are open to cooperation, provided it aligns with our goals of peace and stability. Lyris nodded, a faint smile playing on her lips. Of course, Ambassador. We look forward to your decision. Meanwhile, Sarah continued to analyze the data chip, uncovering more about the advanced cloaking technologies used by various factions. She discovered that some of these technologies were nearly undetectable, even with their current sensors. The implications were staggering. If the Council's members were indeed using these technologies for covert operations, it could explain the resistance they faced. One evening, Sarah's work was interrupted by an emergency alert from the Council's security network. A cloaked fleet of pirates had been targeting supply convoys in the outskirts of Xylor Prime, and a convoy carrying vital resources to a colony planet was under attack. James and Sarah rushed to the command center where they were briefed on the situation. The convoy, equipped with human sensors, had detected the cloaked ships and managed to fend off the initial assault. However, the pirates were relentless, and reinforcements were needed. James coordinated with the Council's defensive fleets, deploying ships equipped with their advanced sensors to intercept the pirates. As the battle unfolded, the convoy's defenders used their sensor technology to pinpoint the positions of the invisible ships, allowing them to strike with unprecedented accuracy. The battle was fierce but brief. The pirates, unprepared for the effectiveness of the human sensors, were forced to retreat. The convoy reached its destination safely, and news of the skirmish spread quickly throughout the Council. The successful defense of the convoy had far-reaching consequences. The Council, previously divided on the issue of human technology, now saw firsthand the value of the sensors in protecting vital assets. The debate within the Council shifted, with more delegates expressing support for integrating human technology into their defense strategies. Admiral Thalcon, however, remained skeptical. During a council session, he voiced his concerns once more. While the success of the convoy defense is commendable, we cannot ignore the potential risks of widespread dissemination of this technology. We must proceed with caution. High Chancellor Zorath countered, "The recent skirmish demonstrates the effectiveness of human sensors in defending our interests. We should be looking for ways to collaborate and enhance our collective security, not stifle innovation." James seized the moment to address the Council. The defense of the convoy was a testament to what we can achieve when we work together. Humanity's technology is not a threat, but a tool to enhance our collective security. We are willing to share our advancements, but we seek your trust and cooperation in return. The session ended with a renewed sense of cautious optimism. Delegates began to see the potential benefits of working with humanity, and discussions about integrating human sensors into the Council's defense network gained traction. Amidst this backdrop, Sarah made a breakthrough with the data chip. She uncovered evidence that linked the advanced cloaking technologies to several high-ranking members of the Council. These members had been using the technologies to conduct covert operations and manipulate events to their advantage. Sarah shared her findings with James, who was both shocked and concerned. They realized that exposing this information could destabilize the Council and lead to chaos. However, they also knew that they couldn't ignore the corruption within their ranks. As they prepared to confront the Council with the evidence, an urgent message arrived from the outskirts of Xylor Prime. A massive cloaked fleet, larger than anything previously seen, was approaching the planet. The fleet's intentions were unclear, but the threat was imminent. James and Sarah understood that this was their moment to prove humanity's worth. They coordinated with the Council's defensive fleets, preparing for a battle that would test their technology and their resolve. The fate of Xylor Prime, and perhaps the entire Council, hung in the balance. With the clock ticking, James rallied the defenders, inspiring them with his unwavering resolve. Sarah worked tirelessly to adapt their sensors to the ever-evolving tactics of the enemy. As the battle for Xylor Prime loomed, humanity's technology was their only hope.
As alliances formed and strategies evolved, Sarah made a breakthrough with the data chip. It contained information on a new type of cloaking device that could potentially evade even their advanced sensors. She shared her findings with James, but not before making a startling discovery. Someone within the Council had leaked information to the pirates. Sarah analyzed the communication logs and discovered encrypted messages between Admiral Thalcon and an unknown party. She decrypted enough to realize that Thalcon had been providing the pirates with information on convoy routes in exchange for favors and intelligence. Shocked and enraged, Sarah knew they had to act quickly to prevent further betrayal. James and Sarah decided to confront Thalcon discreetly to avoid tipping off any other potential conspirators. They arranged a meeting in a secure room within the Council's headquarters. As Thalcon entered, his demeanor was cold and guarded. "Admiral Thalcon," James began, his voice firm, "we have evidence that you have been in communication with the pirate fleet, providing them with sensitive information." Thalcon's eyes narrowed, his reptilian features hardening. "You dare accuse me without proof? This is a serious allegation, Ambassador Carter." Sarah stepped forward, holding a datapad displaying the decrypted messages. "The proof is right here, Admiral. We have your communications logs and the details of your exchanges with the pirates." Realizing he was cornered, Thalcon's posture shifted from denial to defiance. "And what do you intend to do with this information? Expose me and cause chaos within the Council? You underestimate the delicate balance of power here." James remained resolute. "We will bring this to the Council, but first, you will help us defend Xylor Prime from the impending attack. Your knowledge of the pirates' tactics could be invaluable. Falcon sneered but knew he had little choice. Very well. I will assist you. But know this. If I go down, I'm taking others with me. The corruption within the council runs deeper than you realize. With Falcon begrudgingly on their side, James and Sarah prepared for the imminent battle. They shared the decrypted information with key allies, ensuring that defensive measures were in place. The revelation of Falcon's betrayal had shaken them, but it also steeled their resolve. They had to protect Xylor Prime and root out the corruption within the council.
Armed with evidence of the betrayal, James and Sarah decided to present their findings to the council. As the session began, the atmosphere was tense, with whispers and glances hinting at the brewing storm. James stood up, his presence commanding attention. "Esteemed delegates," he began, his voice echoing through the chamber. "We have uncovered disturbing evidence of treachery within our ranks. Admiral Falcon has been conspiring with the pirate fleet, providing them with sensitive information in exchange for personal gain." Gasps and murmurs spread across the room as James displayed the decrypted messages on the holographic screen. Falcon stood, his face a mask of fury and defiance. "This is an outrage. I demand a full investigation before any judgments are passed." High Chancellor Zorath intervened, his voice calm but firm. "Admiral Falcon, the evidence against you is substantial. You will be placed under house arrest pending a thorough investigation." As Falcon was escorted out, an emergency alert blared through the chamber. The massive cloaked fleet, larger than anything previously seen, was approaching Xylor Prime. The enemy was at their doorstep, and the council had no time for internal disputes. James quickly took command, rallying the council's defensive fleets. "We need every available ship equipped with our sensors. Coordinate with your forces and prepare for battle. This is not just about defending Xylor Prime. This is about the future of the council." The sky above Xylor Prime was soon filled with a maelstrom of energy blasts and explosions as the cloaked fleet engaged the defenders. Human sensors revealed the positions of the invisible ships, allowing the defenders to strike with unprecedented accuracy. Sarah, aboard the command ship, worked tirelessly to adapt their sensors to the enemy's evolving tactics. The enemy fleet, realizing their advantage was slipping, intensified their assault, targeting key defensive positions. James, leading the charge from the command center, inspired the defenders with his unwavering resolve. "We stand united, for Xylor Prime and for the future of the council." The battle was fierce, with both sides suffering heavy losses. However, the tide began to turn as more of the enemy ships were revealed and destroyed. The defenders, bolstered by the effectiveness of the human sensors, pushed back with renewed vigor. Admiral Falcon, still under guard but aware of the battle's progress, watched from a secure location. Despite his betrayal, he couldn't help but feel a grudging respect for humanity's resilience and ingenuity. As the enemy fleet started to retreat, their cloaking devices failing under the relentless assault, a sense of victory began to spread among the defenders. The battle for Xylor Prime was nearing its end, and humanity's technology had proven its worth. James and Sarah, exhausted but determined, knew that the fight was far from over. They had won a crucial battle, but the war for the future of the council was just beginning. With the threat temporarily averted, they turned their attention to the corruption within the council, vowing to root it out and restore integrity to the interstellar body. The confrontation had shown that humanity was not to be underestimated. They had the technology, the determination, and the allies needed to shape the future of the galaxy. As the defenders celebrated their hard-fought victory, James and Sarah began to plan their next move, knowing that the true test of their resolve was yet to come. The sky above Xylor Prime was a chaotic tableau of laser fire, energy blasts, and explosions as the cloaked fleet engaged the council's defenders. James stood at the command center, his eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the battle in real time. The human sensors were working tirelessly, revealing the positions of the invisible ships and allowing the defenders to strike with unprecedented accuracy. Sarah, aboard the command ship Excalibur, worked alongside her team to continuously adapt their sensors to the enemy's evolving tactics. The enemy fleet, realizing their advantage was slipping, intensified their assault, focusing on key defensive positions. "We need to recalibrate the sensors to account for their new cloaking frequencies," Sarah instructed, her voice calm but urgent. Her team worked with practiced efficiency, adjusting the parameters and sending updates to the fleet. As the battle raged on, James coordinated the defense, issuing commands and deploying reinforcements to vulnerable sectors. The combined forces of the Council, now utilizing human sensor technology, managed to hold their ground despite the overwhelming odds. The enemy fleet, led by a coalition of rogue factions seeking to destabilize the Council, pressed their attack with ferocity. Their ships, equipped with advanced cloaking devices, darted in and out of visibility, creating confusion and chaos. However, the human sensors, continuously adapted by Sarah and her team, revealed their positions with increasing precision. James addressed the Council's commanders over the communication network. "We stand united against this threat. Use the sensor data to target their command ships. We must break their coordination to turn the tide of this battle." The defenders, inspired by James's leadership and the effectiveness of the human technology, launched a coordinated counterattack. Targeting the command ships, they managed to disrupt the enemy's strategy, creating openings for decisive strikes. On the Excalibur, Sarah monitored the battle's progress, her mind racing with calculations and adjustments. Suddenly, an alert flashed on her screen. An enemy ship was attempting to infiltrate the command center. "James, we have an intruder alert. They're targeting the command center," Sarah warned over the secure channel. James immediately dispatched a security team, but the enemy ship, utilizing its advanced cloaking technology, managed to breach the outer defenses. A firefight erupted within the command center as the infiltrators sought to disable the human sensors. James, armed and determined, joined the defense, leading his team in repelling the attackers. The clash was intense, but the defenders, driven by their resolve to protect Xylor Prime and the Council, fought with unwavering determination. Amidst the chaos, Sarah managed to isolate the frequency used by the enemy's cloaking devices. "I've got it. Sending the new frequency to all ships now," she announced, her fingers flying across the console. The defenders' ships, now equipped with the updated sensor data, began to pick off the cloaked enemy vessels with precision. The tide of the battle shifted as the enemy fleet, realizing their advantage had been nullified, started to falter. James and his team successfully repelled the infiltrators, securing the command center and restoring full operational control. With renewed focus, he directed the final assault on the retreating enemy fleet. The sky above Xylor Prime lit up as the remaining enemy ships were systematically destroyed or forced to retreat. The defenders, battered but victorious, let out a collective cheer as the last of the enemy fleet disappeared into the void.
The battle over, the Council reconvened to assess the damage and discuss the future. The Grand Chamber, once filled with tension and conflict, now buzzed with a sense of relief and cautious optimism. Humanity had proven their worth, not just through their technology, but also through their leadership and bravery. High Chancellor Zorath addressed the assembly, his voice resonating with authority. "Today we witness the strength of unity and the power of innovation. Humanity's contribution has been invaluable, and their courage in the face of adversity has earned our respect and gratitude." James and Sarah, hailed as heroes, stood before the Council as full membership for Earth was formally granted. The alliance with the Vresh was also formalized, with strict oversight to ensure mutual benefit and prevent future betrayals. Admiral Thalcon, under house arrest and awaiting trial, watched from a secure location. Despite his betrayal, he couldn't help but acknowledge the effectiveness of humanity's technology and the resolve of their people. As the Council moved forward, it was clear that the knowledge humanity had brought to the table would reshape the dynamics of interstellar diplomacy and warfare. The integration of human sensors into the Council's defense network was approved, and plans for further collaboration were set in motion. In the aftermath of the battle, James and Sarah reflected on their journey. They had faced skepticism, betrayal, and immense challenges, but their determination and ingenuity had carried them through. Sarah, now a respected figure in the scientific community, continued her work on enhancing sensor technology, driven by the desire to protect the galaxy from unseen threats. James, having proven his leadership, took on a more prominent role within the Council, advocating for unity and cooperation among the diverse civilizations. The victory at Xylor Prime was celebrated across the galaxy, a testament to what could be achieved when disparate species came together for a common cause. The battle had not just been about defending a planet, it had been about defending the principles of cooperation and trust that the Council was built upon. As the defenders of Xylor Prime rebuilt and the Council began a new chapter, humanity's place among the stars was secured. They had shown that they were not just newcomers, but vital contributors to the galaxy's future, and as they looked towards the horizon, they knew that their journey was only beginning. In the end, it was not just their technology but their spirit that had earned humanity a place among the stars. The Galactic Council, now more united and resilient than ever, stood ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that with allies like humanity, they could overcome any obstacle.